Breaking news is AH, she has to be furious right now as JD, he may well own her in court yet again, where he files his own appeal. So he is indeed filing an appeal to the counterclaim decision. And beyond that, he is taking away her headlines. That's right. She went out yesterday with the express intent of gathering headlines. That's why she filed her appeal that the way she did. She figured it might actually help her image somewhat. Well, less than 24 hours away, JD, he snatches away those headlines. He turns this into a win for himself. And the most hilarious thing about this, in my opinion, is that his spokesperson, I'm thinking intentionally, went out. They made statements that reflect statements that she likes to throw around, ones that she wants to make herself look like a victim with, saying, we should move on with our lives. We should go out and heal. Yeah, he put those out there. So he snatches away any PR win. He establishes that victory, and that's on the road to a potential other victory as well. Oh man, this is fun times. You got to admit, this is fun times indeed. So, hey there to all you fine folks on this fine day, by the way. I hope you are doing excellently. And AH has got to be steaming big time behind the scenes. I mean, she has to be so mad. She's spending a lot of money, or at least someone is, on this PR push. She's been pushing hard, too, trying to win over Twitter, trying to win over other social media platforms, and to also get the media pushing hard back as well. And they did yesterday, once this appeal dropped. Now, I'm not going to go through her whole notice of appeal. I mean, you can see it right here, but I do want to bring up what came up with the appeal, because this is a dead giveaway for what she was trying to do. So this dropped along with her filing, and this tells you what kind of game she's playing, by the way, because she didn't just file something, let it go. No, she had to put out a statement about it. It came from a quote-unquote spokesperson for AH, and remember, this is just like the game that she played with TMZ when it came to her TRO. You folks, you noticed what we were doing. Well, this is our statement about it. By the way, behind the scenes, according to some of my media sources, this is the biggest PR push they have ever seen in their lifetimes. I thought that was a huge statement, with multiple firms approaching them, multiple people as well, trying to get this stuff pushed in her favor. But listen to this, and listen to what they're trying to influence, because it isn't media, it isn't the mainstream they're going after, it's you. It's the platforms that you use. Listen to this. We believe the court made errors. Now listen to what they say here. I mean, this is crazy. Errors that prevented a just and fair verdict consistent with the First Amendment. So she didn't get justice. She didn't get fairness. She's going to double down on this idea in just a second, too. And by the way, don't you think it's fascinating that they value the First Amendment? They value it so much, in fact, they think that you can destroy people's lives with it. And yet at the same time, they hire companies like Bot Sentinel to ruin lives because, oh my God, you hashtag about things that aren't in her favor. They will dox, they will call in false police reports, they will do anything that they can. But hey, the First Amendment matters, right? But continuing, we are therefore appealing the verdict. And that comes as no surprise, by the way. Everyone knew that they were appealing, but in my opinion, I don't think that they think they can win. I think that it is all about the court of public opinion. Why do I think that? Well, listen to this bottom part here. While we realize today's filing will ignite the Twitter bonfire, so that's part of a galvanizing thing. Hey, why don't you guys get out there? Why don't you support this? Why don't you make so much noise? And you see more and more of that, by the way. Her team, they're going into overdrive. They like to throw out ism like sexism and sexist, misogyny. They love throwing around those buzzwords to try to galvanize support. And on the other side, they can say, well, we filed this. It ignited this backlash. So again, you see that. But there are steps we need to take to ensure both fairness and justice. Now, granted, JD and his team, they answer this and they answer it well. This is what they had to say. Quote, "The jury listened to extensive evidence presented during the 6-week trial and came to a clear and unanimous verdict that the defendant herself defamed JD in multiple instances." By the way, I love the fact that they don't refer to her as an ex. They don't refer to her as anything like that at all anymore. Nope, she's just the defendant. I like when people refer to her that way. That's something I see a lot of people say. I like it. People need to stick with that. Continuing, "We remain confident in our case and that the verdict will stand." I believe that too. And while this is factual, it's easily presented, hers, it was a call to arms. Again, she is trying to galvanize support on one side. She is trying to attack on the other, saying, ooh, those Twitter monsters, the bonfires, they'll roll. And remember, she's making that statement in things that she controls. Because again, it was all about what she was doing. And like I was saying at the beginning, I love the fact that JD, he not only snatches the microphone away from her, as it were, takes that PR win, he puts it in his camp. So he just takes that away at will. But he does it by taking the talking points she likes to throw around, trying to make herself look like a victim. And he says, what about that stuff? What about that stuff indeed? Listen to this here. Quote, "The verdict speaks for itself, and JD believes that this is a time for both parties to move on with their lives and heal." And by the way, he has moved on with his life. If you look at what he's been doing, he put this thing in his rearview mirror. Other people, myself and others, will talk about this. We'll make sure that they can't relitigate it. The media, they don't come in and destroy lives, because of what they're doing. But him, he's finally vindicated. He can move on. Continuing, "But if AH is determined to pursue further litigation by appealing the verdict, JD is filing a concurrent appeal to ensure the full record and all relevant legal issues." So right there, you have him talking about, yes, everything that came up, all relevant legal issues, they are considered by the Court of Appeal. And I like that statement, like I said, because that tells you he is answering her move. He's not going out there trying to play some vindictive game. He's answering what she's doing. She's the vindictive one in this. Maybe the world over, they're finally starting to see that. All the PR in the world, it can't hide that either. Like I said, I love the way he answered that. I love the way he snatched that away. Oh, man. But anyway, let me know what you think about this stuff. And as always, I appreciate the heck out of you. You make this stuff work. Thank you. Can't say that enough. Want to help out the channel, by the way? Links in the description. We could use your help all the time. That includes sharing, all of that. You know that drill. But you being here, that is the biggest help of all. Thank you. Appreciate you. Leaving here. See you soon.